Hello and welcome to Sacred Foundations. This is our November 2022 reading. This is such an auspicious day. It's November 8th as we're recording this. We just had yesterday, the 7th, was the Samhain, the actual cross quarter. And today is the lunar eclipse, full moon. Beautiful, beautiful timing. I'm Julia Frehner from Soul Space Studio, and we just want to welcome you. And I'm with my very good friend and confidant and partner in all of this, Jill Chesrow. Hi, Jill. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Really well, thank you.
I am enjoying the beautiful space behind you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm finally back to a home of my own. So I've been traveling, visiting grandkids, and Jill's been also visiting her new grandbaby, huh?
Yes, and I'm absolutely in love with that little man. So still here in Georgia, so away from my home base, but getting a little bit better with the technology. So it should go smoother than last time.
Yes. It was perfect last time. I think it was perfect. I'm excited for this reading. Are you ready to dive in?
I am ready to dive in. All right, so just as a reminder to everybody, we are using two decks for this card reading, Awakening to Your Divine Self and Priestesses of the New Earth. So this is, both decks are a collaborative deck. There are different artists that have participated in the decks. Some artists participated in both decks. And each artist brought through their own image or worked with an artist to bring through an image. And then they brought through a sacred message to go with that image. So when Julie and I do these card readings, oftentimes we'll just kind of focus on the image or the word or kind of how the cards are speaking to us. And sometimes we feel called to read the message directly as the artist wrote it. So in this particular reading, we used the Cross of Truth spread, which is a 5-card reading usually. Julia and I both ended up pulling a card for the second card, and we'll let you know what the what each card position means. But we're going to read out of the book for 2 of the cards specifically. So yeah, so even though this is November 2022, whenever you come across this video, trust and know that the message that is revealed is accurate for you at that time when you view this. So I did want to, I did take a picture, Jules, this time of the cards to pull up. And I wanted to practice screen sharing before we started recording, and I didn't. So I'm going to see if I could share that really quick. If I can figure it out, and if I cannot, then I won't. I won't do it. I was all ready to do it, but apparently I'm not. So we'll hold them up so you can visualize them, and then they'll be posted on our Facebook pages if you want to, or the Awakening to Your Divine Self Facebook page, so you can get a visual image of the cards. Sound like a plan? Okay, so the first card is the base or theme of the month, and we have the card Metamorphosis. So right off the bat, metamorphosis means transformation. So there's a lot with just the word alone of metamorphosis, right? So there's a dragonfly here, though, not a butterfly. So a lot of times when people think about metamorphosis, they're automatically going to go straight to the butterfly image. However, dragonfly has its own medicine. So now not only do you have the medicine of the word metamorphosis and the symbolism of that, you also have the sacred medicine of dragonfly. So we invite you always to go deep as you want to with these readings. Take the words and the insights that we share with you, but then see what personal meaning it has for you. The artist, we're not going to read this whole message, which was beautiful, but the key words that the artist has for this card are change, expansion, and development. So when we talk about these sacred foundation readings, a sacred foundation is really what gives us that base for moving forward on our journey with as much awareness as possible to us, so we can really do what we came here to do, be what we came here to be in service to others. So you're developing that But there's also going to be some change, or there may possibly be some change that you're ready for right now. So how are you feeling? Are you feeling an expansive or an expansion in your life? Are you feeling that there's change underfoot? Do things feel a little bit unsettled for you, or are they like exciting to you? So that's our base card, right? That's an exciting base theme card to have. So now we move to the next two cards. The second position is typically about how you really feel about the theme, and it can reveal your hopes or your fears. So we have the card Daughter, and we have the card Waiting. So right off the bat, just visually to me, when I look at these cards, I see a woman standing on a stump. To me, that's all about having a foundation. You see the roots panning out and whatever. And then you have the Daughter card. Okay, so I'm doing laundry, you guys. And I was supposed to have my headphones on so you wouldn't hear it, and my headphones wouldn't work. So love and appreciate the washing machine if you can hear it behind you. And it is what it is. So the Daughter card, I see nurturing, I see support, but the card message that the artist wrote is such an incredible message. I want you to listen to it. And I didn't mention this already, but we always invite you to have a journal handy to take notes. What stands out for you visually, anything that we say. So if you have a journal handy, jot down anything that really stands out for you in this message. The card says, it requires profound love and trust to have one and be one, meaning a daughter. Earth Mother carries the vulnerable, raw, tender-hearted heart of herself on her back. This daughter self is in need of compassion and protection. She will carry this child self until the child is able to stand on her own. Think about that. Stand on her own. Look at the Waiting card. Look at that woman standing on her own. So I really feel like that is a deep message there. It goes on to say, so often we long for things to be other than they are. We may mistakenly believe that our daughter self should be grown and gone. We long for our own healing to be complete. But the sunbeams and the energy grows and grows. We begin to understand that the greatest wisdom is in the caring. What parts of your daughter self are in need of that bottomless well of love right now? What would it take for you to lift up those parts and carry them? What old beliefs, fears, or messages might you need to look at with kindness? That makes me want to cry. That is such a powerful message. If we think back to last month's message, compassion was in the obstacle position. So my question that I invite you to ponder is, did you extend compassion to yourself last month? And if so, great. And if not, you might want to reflect on why. But these cards really kind of continue on with that solid foundation of really being kind to yourself. And while you do stand empowered, you are also fully supported and carried by the love of the divine. So keep that in mind. The helpful energy card is Restore, which is one of my favorite cards, and it is Julia's card. So Julia, thank you for bringing the sacred medicine into the world. I feel like that's, Julia will go deeper with that card because she's the one who created it. But to me, restore just really means to give your time the space to restore body, mind, and spirit. So that's a gift. And hopefully you either already kind of have that in place this month where you have the time and the space to restore, or you create it for yourself. And that's going to be hugely beneficial for you. So the obstacle energy is initiation. And I love this card as well. And I love the word initiation. and it goes with the theme of expansiveness. Now, the flip side to initiation is it's not always easy. Initiation is very sacred, it's very powerful, and it does create change, because most of the time you're being initiated into higher consciousness, a different way of thinking or being in the world. So the fact that this card is in our obstacle position, to me, is stating that there may be a part of you that is too depleted or is resisting the change, is afraid of the change. So you might want to really do some reflection on how does growth feel to you? How does change feel to you? Is there something that you're holding on to and you're not letting go of to really deeply enter that initiation? All right, so the final card is Embodied Wholeness. And this is actually my card. So Julia and I thought it was kind of fascinating that that our cards came up in this reading. So there's a lot going on in this card. And one of the things that we have is we have the sacred geometry of the fruit of life. And then we also have the elements. So we've got earth, we've got water, we've got air, we've got fire. Okay. So as that card is the final card, which pulls the whole thing together, I see a balancing. I see that embodying wholeness as part of the initiation that we move through, and restoring ourselves is going to help us get there. But if you like to go deeper with the cards or the energy, we really invite you to tune into the element of water and see what your emotional body needs or what message water has for you. Tune into the element of the air and see what message air has for you. And take an action step if possible from each of the elements, or one single element if that's what's standing out for you. But really go within, because you are the key to your own evolution in this journey at this time. So I also did want to read the affirmation that I have to go with this card. And it says, I weave a legacy of light as I sing my song, dance my dance, and live my magic. I am embodied wholeness as I express my true self in harmony with the divine. So I invite you to sit with that affirmation and meditate on it this month. And then I'm excited, Julia, to hear what you have to share as my washing machine cycles through very loudly.
We can't hear you. I can't hear your washing machine, so I think it's going to show up on there.
That's good to know.
Well, and last month, I think I was with my grandbabies, but my baby once at 6 months old, and she was crying, and the boys were crazy, and I think yours was crying, and I don't think we heard it. All of that wonderful mayhem last time, so I think we're good. Yes, everything you said, and right, you said everything that I would want to say, but I don't have to say, so I can save the other things that come up for me as well. So yes, I think before Jill and I hit record, we were chatting about the power of this read. And I think we say it every month, oh, this is such a powerful read. This is such a powerful read. But one word that Jill used was, this one is really rich. And I feel that richness in this reading. So the first, we'll just jump right in. Metamorphosis. I wanted to share the definition based on what comes up on a Google search. The first definition for metamorphosis says, the process of transformation from immature form to an adult form in 2 or more distinct stages. Wherever you are, whatever stage or situation or station of life that you are in, I'm sensing this month, everyone is going through some sort of transformation. Something is happening. And the word metamorphosis says that we're already in the transformation. right? There's something already there. I love Jill bringing up the word change. And so I'm just going to invite you to be curious. Do you hate change? Because often we do. We hate change. But change is a constant. We're always in a state of change, a state of flux. And so I invite you to question, are you an agent of change? And by being an agent of change, you then claim your freedom of choice. How are you going to choose to go through that? But we are in the process. We're not like the caterpillar that's like, yeah, I don't think I want to. I'm really comfortable kind of going around eating the green leaves and the tomatoes and all of that. I'm not going to go into the chrysalis, right? Metamorphosis says we're already there. We're in the change. So where are you in the change? Are you claiming that you are an agent of change? And are you assuming your freedom of choice? Like, don't relinquish your freedom of choice, because your choice is going to allow you to go through the change. It was interesting, the second cards, right? Jill and I both felt the same way. Like when we pulled them, they were like, oh, this is the one combination that kind of stumped me, right? It kind of just threw me in this read. And when Jill jumped on, she goes, I really want to read daughter. And I was like, I love that you want to read the words. And I'm excited to read to you the words that the artist used for waiting. But what I want to bring up is, and Jill mentioned your journal, if words pop out to you, if there's something symbolic here that pops out to you, jot that down. It doesn't have to be a complete sentence. It could just be sunshine, or it could be the color orange, whatever it is. What popped out to me when she was showing this card and reading it, what didn't pop out, but did then, what didn't pop out when I was doing, preparing for this read, was the word trust. And as she said that, that just rang so true for me, because if we are agents of change and we are now no longer relinquishing our freedom of choice, so we are now responsible for the change that's going to take place during this metamorphic time, I have to trust myself. And also the idea that she brought up Mother Earth, which brings me to waiting. And this one is really all about, I see so much Mother Earth in this card, and really rooting down. And Jill mentioned the rooting of this card. So I'll read what the artist wrote. It's beautiful. So the words the artist brings up is patience, timing, ready, attentive, focus, expectation, prepared, preservations. Waiting requires patience and wisdom. We live in an instant world, and waiting for anything seems wrong. There are times when waiting is the right thing to do. Consider the eagle as he waits. He conserves his strength. When the moment is right, he is ready. He waits calmly, not with anxiety, tension, anger, or impatience. He knows everything has its own time. Often while we wait, we think nothing is happening. Not so. The universe is working in unseen ways to bless us. We can choose, the word choose again, to bask in the love of the universe or stew in anxiety or frustration. Our strength can be renewed through waiting or drained. Waiting means giving up your need to control everything and learning to trust. And there's the word trust again, right? How will you choose to wait? So in the state of metamorphosis, once the caterpillar gets into the chrysalis or the worm gets into the cocoon, whatever the state is, there is a waiting period. You can't rush it, because if you do, you've damaged it. There is that moment that you just sit there in the flux, in that space between. The cross quarter yesterday was the space between. We're still in the space between window, and I think November is the space between. And this season is incredibly beautiful, because this season invites us then to the next card, which is restore. How are you going to choose to restore yourself while you're in that space between, right? And this card is all about bringing back, letting spirit bring back the parts to restore you to wholeness, which we'll get to that at the end of embodied wholeness. But this is restoration. And I'll share with you my affirmation for restore when I wrote this so many years ago. And as I enter into sacred time and space, I restore my mind, body, and soul. Going into that sacred space, being invited into that flux, that space between, the liminal space in your own chrysalis cocoon, again, such the perfect time to do this. How are you going to come out restored? What is happening? You're already there. So you can either choose to be patient and wait, or you can choose to push through, and you're going to miss possibly the best parts, the true transformation that can take place. So the obstacle is the initiation card. And I love everything Jill said. And at this point in time, wherever you are on your path, you are on your path. You are on the journey. You are headed where your next step is going to lead you. But you're not at this point in initiation. You are already in the chrysalis. You're going through the metamorphosis change. Doesn't mean there's not going to be another initiation. So what I'm reading and hearing as I was pulling these cards, as I sat with them, is don't go back to, well, I'm not ready, or there's so much to do, or I need one more thing, or I have to study a little bit more. You're already beyond that part of this metamorphosis. You've already gone through the initiation. And if you think that you need to be reinitiated again at this moment, I ask you to visit again. Are you an agent of change? There will be more initiations to come, but the one that's happening in this moment, in this very next now, on your next step, is not the initiation. This is on the other side of that. And the other side comes to embodied wholeness. I was super excited, like Jill said, and she pulled these two cards. I was like so happy that both of our cards came up. She and I both said there was a really personal message in these cards beyond that it was our own cards were in there. But and as we were reading collectively, there's a different message. But the secret sauce is that both of us are included in this beyond just the read. And I think that is so beautiful. And what I want to say about that is we're supporting and holding you. We have you. We have your back. And if this month or next month or at any time that you're hearing this message and you're feeling like things are a little uncertain, we're here for you. We want you to know that you can reach out, and having that support of both of us could be incredibly beautiful. All right, so the outcome is embodied wholeness. If you take what we've read and you take it and you journal and you're holding it, you cannot not help but come into this body. You know, going through that restoration period and waiting for that metamorphosis to complete as you emerge into the new change, the new transformation, whatever it is for you, you will embody wholeness. And I love that she invited you to go into the 4 elements. The one thing that really jumped out, besides so much in this beautiful card of hers, is the web, the weaving. And a web can either capture you and hold you, or a web can support you. We go back to your freedom of choice. Which do you choose to be in this web of life, right? As you go through this next metamorphosis. Yes, and the key, you are the mystery. The key in the center of that card, I love that Jill put that, and it really jumped out. You are the mystery. This is the mystery, and you are it. And everything around you, from this lunar eclipse that we've just had to this season on the northern hemisphere of winter, it all is part of a co-creation in discovering the magical mystery of you. Jill, I love this so, so much. Thank you. She's muted. She's muted.
My back, okay. Oh, Julia, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, so remember, take what resonates with you, let the rest go, give yourself some time and space to reflect on the images of the cards. We did hold each card up for you, so hopefully, you know, you can pause it, screenshot, whatever works for you, so you could really kind of go into the richness of it. Jules, I don't know, for people, if you guys are interested in purchasing these decks for yourself, there are various artists around the world, throughout the United States and Canada and Australia who sell these cards. I can't sell any right now because I'm not at my home. And Jules, I don't know if you have any there or the capacity to be able to do that. Do you?
I do. I can get, they're not with me, but I have someone who can ship them from where they are. And I have plenty of this deck.
Okay,
So
awesome. And I mostly have Priestesses of the New Earth, but again, I'm not at home, so that does not help you. But if you are interested in purchasing these decks for yourself, reach out to Julia and or myself. If Julia doesn't have what you're looking for, I can absolutely set you up with an artist who can get you a deck. So that is not a problem. So we're obviously very biased because we love these decks. We've worked with them for years and we get a lot of feedback from people that love them. It's not necessary at all. Just so you know, I want you to know that, but they are available if you are interested in going deeper with them. So this is beautiful. And then for those who, you know, are really in tune to the subtle energy, if you spend time with the energy of these decks, really kind of pay attention to what it feels like for you in your body and how it assists you in your restoration journey and your embodied wholeness journey. All right,
yes.
everyone. Jules, anything else to add before we say goodbye?
Just that invitation that if you at all would like to have a personal reading with both of us, we do that with some great outcomes. And if you want clarity, if there's something that's coming to you and you'd like a little bit more clarity in your own life, we are here for you. We hold you. We've got you.
All right. The links for our website are below in the description, along with the names of the cards and the artists who created that. So, all right, everybody, happy November, and we will see you next month. Bye-bye.